Stream start recording, and we'll check the website quick. So, happy new start of a quarter, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It is Tuesday, the 1st of April. So yeah, the quarter closed last night. Closed okay actually, not the worst. Bitcoin closed. Where did it close? At about 82.5, which is interesting because the options were at 84, now we're at 84. So a little bit of a middle finger to the options guys. We seem like we're forming a quite a tight little range here in between March and now what's going to be the weekly open slash Q2. And yeah, there's not really too much to say on this right now, apart from we are still in a downtrend because we do have a lower low here, and we don't have a higher high yet. So let's see what happens. If we find resistance here, we want to hold the Q2, um, and then make a new high. That means the bull div will play out. If not, we're just gonna probably do that and just go down for like 77 again. I'm still very cautious of like loading more my spot bags just due to like possible 70k on Bitcoin. But yeah, just like to be honest, just trading the volatility really. The daily doesn't look great. I don't really, I don't think the daily and the weekly look good at all, but can be changed very quickly with some decent gains. Um, yeah, not really too much to say on this so far. We are just at resistance, like a logical area of resistance from yesterday's close. So there's actually possible shorts in here. If parameters or if your trading parameters are set properly and we get some decent hits. Let's actually just see 84.5 in the band. Let's actually have a look at the let's have a look at some metrics quickly. Just making sure everything's good. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's on the website as well. All good. So long to short ratio currently at 1.65. Ooh, okay. We've had a little bit of a okay. We've had a hard breakdown this morning on the long to short ratio. So 8 a.m. for me, which is about 3 hours ago. It was 2 to 1, and currently, actually, an hour ago at 10, or an hour and 10 minutes ago, it was 1.88, and now we're at 1.65. So shorts coming in heavily right now on this March level, like heavily, heavily, heavily. So that's quite good to see. I do think that if we start coming back down to Q2, we're gonna just get so many longs that we might actually break through it down into here again, and possibly even lower actually. But well, we'll have to see. Definitely a place to like hedge off if you're long from 77k. Possibly a reshort, maybe a scalp. We'll have to see. But I think alts is where most of my interest is at the moment. But yeah, nice to see that. Let's have a look at. Let's have a look at this shit. Let's just quickly have a look at the liquidity and the liquidation, just because I feel like it's a bit of a ritual. The liquidity heat map on CoinGlass is a bit shit. It's just a bit shit, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit shit. As for liquidations, uh, nothing too bad. We've still got a bit underneath the low that we just did, 81.2, so down into 80.7. There's a decent amount of liquidity there, and also there's actually a really big chunk. 81, 88, sorry, up into like 90k. So I'd watch out for those two zones if we get there. If we get like a wick into 80, like 80.7, and then a regain of the low at 80, 81-ish, we're gonna go up for that short liquidity, I think. And conversely, I think right now it's more safe to maybe. I mean, without thinking about the Trump stuff, I would say that the short liquidity looks more attractive. But then when I factor in the tariff and the uncertainty, I think we could obviously see further breakdowns. But I'm not trading just on that sole purpose alone, because it's gonna mess me up. Which is why I longed injective last night. But yeah, we'll have to see what really happens with this tariff stuff. It's either going to be today and tomorrow, which is going to be a major volatility event. But let's actually do something. Trump tariffs. Was it 2018? Did he put tariffs in 2018? In January 2018, Trump imposed tariffs on solar panels and washing machines of 30 to 50%. In March 2018, he imposed tariffs on steel and aluminium from most countries, which, according to Morgan Stanley, covered an estimated 4.1% US imports. So March 2018. Let me go to the SPX. Whoops. We'll go to like the 3-day chart. March 2018 was around here. I need to take these off. March 2018, around there. Around there. So, what happened in December, January? Interesting. I mean, my theory was going to be that the tariffs coming into action might actually be the bottom, but it also might not. Who knows? For now, we're just going to have to wait and see, and obviously keep that in the back of our mind. But yeah, liquidity 80, let's call it 89, just below 89, and 81 for now. So yeah, let me get the chat back up. Does anyone think we're gonna go to 70k real quick? I don't think it's comparable. Yeah, you're probably right. It's probably not. I was kind of fishing for something there actually. I thought I was onto something, but I wasn't. So anyway, yeah, I was thinking everyone thinks the markets are going to dump when tariffs go into effect, but it's already priced in, so it'll probably pump. Exactly. I just think, if we're gonna do 70k Bitcoin, we're gonna do it soon, and uh, it's gonna be on US Iran war alerts, which is gonna be like spooking the market, and it's gonna be on tariffs and uncertainty and stuff like that. Well, it doesn't have to be, but if we're gonna do it, we're probably gonna do it soon. Unless we just come up and do like 94k now, and then it's gonna be like really see you later. So the way I see it, we're either gonna come test the highs like 9400 and fail, and then that'll be the bear market, or we're gonna do 70, 69, and then we're gonna do the like range high test before the bear market. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens to the market with the tariffs and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just not. I don't really want to like trade bait on the basis of that. So, I think we were talking about ETH massively. Just said like I'd long this level again. I actually didn't end up longing that level, but it would have been a good long. And if anyone's long from that, even just the break this morning, which I don't really recommend breakout trading like that, but yeah, this doesn't look bad for a retest now. I would long that for sure. I would definitely be longing that. No, no qualms from me. Solana is trying to do something. It's just a little bit, yeah. What's XRP doing? Yeah, it's not too bad. Need to wait for that to develop a bit more. It's actually just bearishly retesting that swing. So last night I was in the altcoin chat and I longed Injective. I think I drew this out on stream, probably on Monday. That either we're gonna from here, yeah, look, this was 11:12, so from here we're either gonna bearishly retest all these levels now, daily open Q2, or we're gonna gain it and do a bullish backtest. So where I entered was uh, this daily close right here, literally on this close. You can see it was this candle here, and I just had a few orders like set between 865 and 87 ish, with a stop at 86. And yeah, it's been pretty nice to me. 86 is about 1.2% stop. We're up like 5-ish% so far, so not too bad. I have taken half the trade off just because I think it could come back down to the entry, and I might reload it. But yeah, this is an example of seeing everything you want to in a trade. So let me just take all this off, and then the news possibly influencing your decision. So I was actually a tiny bit worried about taking this, obviously with the Trump like news and stuff like that, but I was just thinking like this is everything I like to look for in a trade. Close above the major level on a 4 hour time frame, bull div, wick into the band, like it's just what I look for. So I just took it, and then yeah, I am vindicated in my idea. So yeah, don't always just treat the news and stuff like that as a potential volatility event where you should be more careful with your stops, you should be more careful with your risk management, i.e., if you're in profit, take more profit. If your stop's not at break even, put it at break even. And yeah, yeah, that's really it. So the other two longs, well, I'll just quickly go over them before we actually get into the market. Ada, yeah, Ada's in good profit. I told you that these were actually old orders set from here. This is when they were meant to get filled, but they didn't. So they got filled on this one, and I guess the stop's just gonna be like here now. So if we do continue, it'll be nice for this trade. Last but not least, Popcat. Yeah, I set some orders. We got hit literally just in here perfectly with the stop here. What's that? It's about 3%. I'm only on 3 or 4x, so I can stomach it. And yeah, we've also taken profit on that this morning. About 9%. That's good. That is really good. So yeah, good profit for me this week so far. I think that's the end of the short roundup. I was actually looking at Floki last night. Should have longed this as well. Definitely should have longed this as well. Yeah. Anyway, I don't think it's comparable. Yeah, I read that. It's going to be buy the news on tariffs, I think. Buy the news. I've never heard of buy the news. Sorry, one sec. I'm just replying to a message. So yeah, sorry. That was just a quick roundup. I would like to let me know what you guys are trading. Let me go look at what you guys are looking at, and I will just scroll through some tickers for now. When you realise you can freely drive around with stocks for We'll just assume it got vandalized. Oh my god, what is happening? I really want the crash to come like really soon, and then we're just gonna buy it all up. Just buy all that Tesla up at 180. Can you look at Phantom? Yes, for sure. I actually haven't looked at Phantom in ages, so I'm actually quite excited to look at this. What chart? What time frame? Sonic. Oh yeah, let's do this. So, okay, okay, interesting. Just about lost that. Mm, in the short term, this is not looking great. Possibly gonna retest in here again. This low needs to be invalidated now. This one, um, due to being lower than here. High, lower, low. Probably gonna come up and find somewhere in here as resistance. There's probably a Stuber in here as well. Yeah, I think that is gonna come up a little bit more. You know, it might only even come to that due to the tariffs and due to the uncertainty, but it'll probably come up and then come back down and maybe test the Q2, maybe hold it. We'll have to see. But as of right now, this bull div I'm expecting to play out due to us being above the weekly open. So as long as we do that, it doesn't matter if we come back down and do that. We're probably gonna go into Feb or Q3, or the stupid pocket, and then do maybe a higher low, or maybe that again. Yes? We on board with that, or we seeing something different here? Let me know. Ooh, that wick's nasty. Yeah, I think Feb's probably a good level. Or Q3. I like things like this because I can see that there's a very defined range now. This is where I want to get in. This is where I want to get out slash short. Yeah, that's nice. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's actually just check some volume real quick. Oh, let's take all this stuff. Let me check volume on the 12-hour. Not yet. Bullish div. Not really quite. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Anyway, let me just check that chat quick. Phantom, yes. Bullish daily divergence on Bitcoin. Give us a dip and rip. Retail stablecoin demand and bot counter trade loading. Yeah, when do you think that bot counter trade is gonna flash? Let me go back onto maybe buy bit. I think I've got it here. Do I have it here? It's only work on Nance. I don't think it's gonna load. Soon, next few hours if it's gonna. Yeah, we're getting real close to something. It definitely feels like it. It feels like I need to be glued to the charts at the moment, which is always pretty fun. I do love the like summer hours, like night cretin sort of trading sometimes. Them summer hours, boy. Comp, another Korean spot listing victim. Oh my god. Yo, someone's fucking happy. Someone got filled at 69, 69.70. Didn't catch the short. Oh, someone did. Someone's 69 short on that and is having steak for breakfast. I thought comp was listed everywhere. Comp. Compound. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Actually, just horrible though. That daily candle was disgraceful. Yuck. I hate it. No, I'm joking. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's go through some of the big boys. Let's go through some of the big boys. I've got a fresh injective chart. Yes, no. What's Pepe doing? This was looking semi-decent yesterday as well. I thought about logging this. Seems to have gone so far. It's just a lot of levels. Yesterday things were looking proper fine. But yeah, I think possibly I might be looking for a short now just to hedge off all my longs. So if anyone's looking, if anyone finds anything that looks semi decent for a short, shout me. Let me know. Lol, again, the same situation with Orca. No shorting. Oh my god, minus 1.5%. Yeah, yeah. You don't want to short that funding rate, do you? Filecoin's up 20%. What? Oh my god, my trade's back in prof, bro. So I was telling you about how I was on a call with some guy. And it wasn't at 5.2. It was actually at 5.6, bro. I must have just like I think I put a limit like somewhere here and like watched it hit with him, so he like knew what to do. I was sitting here like 70% down. Like, should I just DCA this? Should I just double it up so the price is like here? And I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And now I'm in profit, so I might actually just have to like pull the plug on that trade real quick. And then relong that Q2, baby. Sorry, lots of housekeeping this morning. Why can't I log in? Excuse me, sir. Alright, nice. Yeah, let's market that out. Yeah, let's get out of there. Entry price after I DCA'd was about 5.0, so just horrible, bad trade. A bit of a mistake, but we saved it. All good, all good, all good. So yeah, Fartcoin, I think, uh, yeah, I mean we got some levels to long here. I'll definitely be waiting for a little bit of a dump, but Damn, this shit moves, man. I literally market smashed half my position there, and it did 20% while I was sleeping. Lol. Let's have a look at AI 16, like you said. So these things seem to have a little bit of volume coming back, which is really good to see because AI 16Z, Griffin, you know, like Arc, Farcoin, stuff like this is gonna move. So if you're able to catch like a 3, 4, 5x trade with decent amount of margin, you're gonna make bank, bro. You're gonna make bank. It's gonna pay for your whole like week if you just hit a one nice one. So let's have a look at this. It's just still a bit. It still looks a bit bearish, you know. If anything, you could short that at the weekly open. If it touches the weekly open, you could have your stop at about 3% on 3x, and then wait for a test of either just the midpoint, which is daily open 10%, or down back here 16% at 165. I think it's quite reasonable. This is the really local Stuber from here to here. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, possible short on AI 16 in this area. Not bad, not bad. Arc Soul is yeah. I think someone asked me about this yesterday, and I just said it doesn't look great yet. We did do. I know this doesn't look like much, but it's actually like a over 10% drop. So we seem to be still like squeezing in between the weekly open and whatever this level is down here. So if you were looking for that level, I mean that's probably where you wanted to load up your long. I know someone wanted to long this up here, and I was like, please don't. Let me just get the chat back up. Whoops. Get the chat back up. Grass. Okay, grass. Yeah, weekly open one could be a short, but it needs to be seen what it does there, and most importantly, what Bitcoin does. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. Bitcoin's just going to do Bitcoin things, isn't it, today? It's just going to wreck everyone. Or tomorrow. It's either going to be really, really boring until, like, tomorrow, or it's just going to absolutely ruin everyone. I definitely think this is possible for a reshort. You know, you get that close, you get one more up into which you get filled, and then you just come down 2-ish%. Stop 0.5%. That's fine. You can even hit that on like 20x if you really wanted to. Grass, bit tensor. Yeah, I was looking at bit tensor earlier actually. Let's do grass first. Let's do grass first. Yeah, this is a bookie coin to me. Very bookie coin. Yeah, I think it still looks good. It's pretty much exactly the same as yesterday. I think we looked at it around here, and I said, yeah, you could long this actually. Was it there? No, it was here. It was on February. We look like we're trying to break Q3 right now. Q2, sorry, the one that we just did. So watch out for that close on the 4 hour in about 1 hour and 20 minutes. We do have hidden bullish on the 4 hour, which is a good sign for a continuation of the trend, which actually printed on February, which is nice. So the break of Q2 and this daily on the 4 hour would be continuation up. Just watch out because we're We are just like right there at this swing. Obviously, the next one to go to is up there, in between $2. Well, at $2. So just be a bit cautious here. You want to see confirmation, you want to see concrete closers, or you're just going to fall back down to the weekly open and Fed. But I think it looks okay. I mean, it's just, you need to wait for this. You need to wait for this 4 hour close, actually. I wouldn't short that here, though. I definitely wouldn't. Just not with this like not with this market structure up. Oh, fuck off. This market structure up like that. Certainly interesting. I really like that game of that Feb level. I really like that retest because, I mean, you can just see that from here. This has been heavy, like res. It's like an inflection point here, support, res, and then again inflection point. So watch out for that. If we don't close this, probably gonna come back down and do something. Maybe even in there. Whoops. Let me just put a line on it. Maybe even in there. With that previous weekly. We shall see. Not bad though. Not bad at all. What was next? BitTensor. Yes. Yeah, so BitTensor is still at its like, we're at the lows now, guys. Like we're really getting into this sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm mildly tempted to buy spot, but I just don't want to at the moment. I've funneled too much trading profits into alts that have just dumped 50% on me. So for right now, I mean, this is like all-time low support. So if you're building a spot bag, this is a fine place to DCA/buy some. In terms of the tradable side, it just doesn't look that good right now. We do have bull div, yes, but we do not have a gain of this level so far. To be fair, we are above the weekly in the Q2, which is a semi-decent sign, but if we took these off, what are we doing? We're bearishly retesting this previous level, which is also a long-term support resistance, whatever you want to call it, from back here. So we need to see a gain of that. We actually technically need to see a gain of like 269, but 140 would be a start. It would be a start at least, or at least 230. So did I say 140? I meant 240. I'm not really feeling this. It could go up. Don't get me wrong. It could do that, and then that's your long to go up here. But right now, not for me. Like right at this moment in time, no. I'm not feeling that. Yeah, it's not looking too attractive. It's like you see a girl from across the club, and you're like, it could do, but nah, not yet, not yet. I've not had enough drinks yet. And then you do a couple shots through here, and then you're like, actually, okay. That's a horrible analogy. Could be months, years of sideways. Yeah, could be. I think that's unlikely though. Trio had a huge wick on Big X. Yo, I haven't checked this shit in ages, bro. Actually, one bag that is probably like round. Actually, just have to let it cook a little bit, don't we? I know SMT had a bit of decent volume up here. It's obviously just been rejected though. This is why you need to wait for trend change before you start aping into your alts, because it did what, 100% pump. and then just got immediately sold back down 40%, 40, 50. Towers retesting weekly, but yeah, on if you're on the smaller time frame, yes, correct. I just, I mean, feel free if you have a system where you have good risk to take this trade. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're longing here and your stop's there and you're on like 5x lev, by all means, you can take that trade. I just don't know. It just doesn't look. Yeah, it looks a little bit so to me. But like, if your risk is fine and your plan's fine, just don't, don't don't let me not take the trade. Don't let me not let you take the trade. It just looks a bit cooked. You could possibly. Do you know what you could actually do? You could actually wait for something like that and try and log that with a 1.5% stop. Or go on 3x and like build out a position in between here. Like ladder in. That's what you could do. We just see. Yeah, we'll get that there. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it's not. That's actually not bad. Local structure. I mean, we've tested that. Everything's tested. That's the thing. Literally everything is tested. That's tested. That's tested. You know, that's tested now. It's the upside. That'll actually be an interesting one to see what happens with. I've got a big spot bag of this anyway, so I don't really need to like try and get something out. But there is something possible about it for sure. There is something possible about it. Yeah, so like if you were like to ladder in from here down into here, what's that range? That's a 1.5% range. So yeah, you could put like some light ones around here and some heavier ones in here, and then some proper heavy ones around the Q2. And your stop could be like somewhere, yeah. If you just controlled your leverage and your stop and stuff. Let's get rid of all that shit. So, do we even have a look at ETH today? I don't even think we did. So yeah, ETH actually been trading quite nicely recently. Also got support on the Q2. We're kind of hitting overbought territory now. So again, possible short like there if we get up to it. That's what I'd be looking for. In the real micro, like I expect that to wick into there, probably come back down there. I actually do think AI will do well though. Let's have a look at render quick. Yeah, I was looking at this last night on the close, thinking that it looked quite interesting. It did close below its weekly, so it opened up below its weekly, but has since regained. Oh, I think we looked at this at the start, didn't we? Yeah, I think I looked at the weekly chart off stream. Yeah, I think we've already seen that. Mm. Yeah, this is another possible setup on dot as well, near the lows, into this stupid pocket. But we are now building quite heavy support above November, which is about 3.95. With the Q2 being at about $4.02 and the weekly open at 4.04. So lots of support down there below, actually. Especially if we reject here of September and we do like a nice wick into this stuff and then a regain. Yeah. It's interesting though. I mean, we kind of just missed the shorts, didn't we? When did I start? Yeah, we just missed the shorts, like 15, 30 minutes before I started. So yeah, I'd be looking for a possible long on this. I just think like, although it is a little bit precarious, just because the long to short ratio is probably going to go absolutely nuts if we come down here on Bitcoin now. Whoops. And then obviously with the tariff thing and the uncertainty, and like people are going to get scared and shit. So like it's just so easy to like get stopped out right now. This is still actually like available for a short if anyone is like catting to get into a position. But yeah, if you're not catting to get into position, yeah. To be honest, what's my short saying? My short is yeah, has no margin in. It's 150x. Blowfin does 150x. You know that new off the grid token gun. They do 75x leverage on this shit on Blowfin, by the way, which is insane. Insane. Oh, this is actually at support, isn't it? Yeah, this is actually at support. I don't know though. I don't know if I want to long that. Something new. But yeah. Um. Sorry, I'm just looking at something. How many head and shoulders on Popcat 15 minute? Yeah, what is happening with the Popcat 15 minute? I mean, my trade's risk free now, so I'm pretty happy. But yeah, it looks to be dumping a bit. Mm, could go a little bit higher. I was really hoping for this pocket on my trade. Just about 11, 12%. But to be fair, can't get greedy, can you? You definitely just can't get greedy. Especially when you get a really nice position on this wick. Just gotta take the dubs. Take the dubs as they come. It totally got me confused seeing this. Which one? Oh, did you think it was at 12? By the way, I put it back. Yeah, we're gonna change the time again, sorry. Oh, the pop cap pan. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, isn't it? The hype boys were long in this at the bottom. The boys on hype. They definitely know something. For sure. Um, yeah, there's not really a whole lot to speak about today as we're just kind of rejecting the highs after the test. We'll have to see right now if we hold levels. For example, We can hold March and weekly open on XRP. I think this will be looking quite good because this is probably one of the only coins. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you find one which is above March, send it to me now. One of the only coins that I've seen which is above March, which is interesting on XRP. A lot of other coins are gonna do their like Q2 retest or like we tried to break out of the. For example, we've tried to break out of the range. We've failed on the first go. Let's see if we can try and like put in a higher low or a hold somewhere. So that's what's going to be happening now. But yeah, just be a bit cautious today and tomorrow with the tariffs, and just always stick to your plan. So if I can tell you anything, last night. Again, I'm just going to talk about Injective quickly. Last night, I was a little bit nervous about longing this, just because, literally only because of the Trump tariffs and the uncertainty. But I thought, absolutely not. Like, why am I like? This is everything I look for in a trade, pretty much. I mean, on the 4 hour, we're in the band, stuff like that. So, like, why would I not just take it? If I get stopped, I get stopped, bro. So what? So what? I get stopped for 1.2%. Whatever. On 5x. But yeah, worked out pretty well. Yeah, I'm long on PopCat from 181, so 182-ish. Pendle, I haven't heard of. Someone hasn't told me about Pendle in a long time. What was the other one that sounds like Pendle? Oh shit. Oh shit, yeah, this looks good. Yeah, this looks decent. This is trying to bottom out. This is definitely trying to bottom out. March level's quite important. We could get rejected here. Could see 2.2 again, possibly. Want to hold 2.4. That would be nice. Got weekly level at 2.3. 2.2 to 2.4, yeah. If we hold that. This is bull divin on the weekly as well. Wow. This is not bad. This looks a bit like ETH. Just without the higher high here. ETH just came up here. Interesting. Yeah, this is not bad. I actually don't mind this. It's a decent looking chart. This is in the Stuba for a short, though, right now. Let's put it there. Perfectly. Perfectly rejected on this March level. So, yeah, that's not too bad. Interesting. Very defined range, which is nice, i.e. sort of like midpoint inflection, high, low, lots of support. Definitely very cool, brother. I like it. I like it a lot. Pendle, if it sends properly, but it also dumps properly. Yeah. My first liquidation was on a Pendle 2x, bro. Oh, getting liquidated on 2x is just. It's just not right, is it, guys? It's just not right. But yeah, I think we've kind of exhausted my. I've exhausted my voice box today. So, what shall I leave you guys with today before I end the stream? Hmm. Apart from the obvious shorts that we talked about on Pendle and Bitcoin, I would say that. I would say that. What could you long possibly? I'd say that render on a higher time frame looks interesting. Probably one of the most interesting charts. Although there is heavy resistance up here, like 4.1 to 4. Like whatever this block is. However, the weekly chart does look very interesting to me. In terms of like testing lower levels and gaining this back with a test actually on this level. So I guess it's not really indicative of a trade though. Tau is obviously at its lows, but it's just looking a bit. It's looking a bit rough. I would say if Injective came back down to like here, which is also like the weak low in the Q2, you could punt along on that. Which is why I'm half out of my position, because I think I'm going to reload it around, let's say 8.8, 8.7, 8.65, shall we? And yeah, I think that's it for me today.